All right. Hello, it's Lauren Grace here. I am the host of the Afterlight podcast, and thank you so much for joining me. I am talking to you from my beautiful home here in sunny Australia, and today I just wanted to spend a little bit of time to just check in, see how you're doing. Just remind you, of course, that the Afterlight has new episodes dropping every Thursday wherever you get your podcasts. And the whole focus of the podcast is really to generate a conversation around spiritual subjects and around subjects that are going to encourage you to really look at the world in a new and supportive way, where we talk about all things like manifestation, healing, near-death experiences, things like that. So that's the whole objective of the podcast. So if there's anything that you want me to cover or guests that you'd love to hear on an episode, please do send me a DM and let me know, and I'll be sure to see what I can do to get them on the show. All right. So today I just wanted to take a couple minutes to really encourage you to kind of check in with yourself and check in with who you are spending your time with. Okay, so that might sound like a really obvious thing. Yeah, I'm spending time with my friends and my family and my kids and the people I work with and all these sort of things. And that's all well and good. But all of these people actually have an effect on how we feel in our everyday lives. And I am realizing more and more that, it's worth doing an inventory on a regular basis to see whether or not you're surrounding yourself by people who lift you up or people who might not. And, sometimes it's important for us to go, okay, I'm going to check in with, how do I feel after I hang out or spend time with a certain person? Do I feel good? Do I feel inspired? Do I feel ready to take on the world? Or do I maybe feel a little bit opposite from that? Do I maybe feel down and negative and not inspired? So, Jim Rohn, he famously said that basically we're the average of the 5 people that we spend the most time with. And that was basically about the theory that was, mentioning that in any given situation, when we're spending time with people, that we tend to take on their characteristics, sometimes the way that they think about things. And when you kind of average out all the people that we're spending our time with, the top 5 we spend the most time with are having, some of the biggest influence on us. So I think that it's really worth checking in with yourself to see who you are spending your time with, who you are keeping in your headphones, motivational speakers, audiobooks, what kind of movies you're watching, things like that. Now, I know I've just kind of made reference to people that aren't maybe people in your actual circle, but when you think about it in terms of, are you spending a lot of time watching violent movies? Are you spending a lot of time listening to true crime, things like that? These different perspectives, this different energy could be affecting you and you may not even realize it. So really what I wanted to do is just essentially check in and say that, I believe that we're supposed to live a life full of love and bliss and following our happiness and living in a state of flow and connection with spirit. And I find that, even for myself, sometimes it's difficult when there are outside scenarios that are, sorry, Instagram, I'm outside, as I told you, and I happen to live where there are some cars sometimes. So there was a bus that just went by. Anyway, I find that, we tend to be influenced by things and we might not even realize it. So I just really wanted to encourage you to check in and also to cleanse yourself. So one of the ways that I, keep my energy light and keep my energy clear and clean is I actually imagine going up to the Creator's light. I do this in my mind, right? I close my eyes, I do my deep breathing. I imagine putting my feet on the ground in the sand. That's what I like to do to kind of ground. And then I imagine light coming up from the center of the earth and going through me and lifting me all the way up to the Creator's space. And then there I ask to be, to basically be cleansed and to have any negative energy, any attachments, cords, and things like that to be taken from me and transformed in the light and replaced with unconditional love and truth. So I do that on a regular basis. And I think it's really important that, you consider having a practice in your life that helps you to cleanse, because we pick up a lot of energy from the day. If you're reading the news, I know I sometimes get news headlines on my phone, and sometimes I just go, oh man, I really wish I hadn't read that. And, we tend to sometimes take on some of this energy. So it's really giving ourselves a chance to recalibrate and rejuvenate when we take time to cleanse. And, if you're spending time with people, especially people you work with, it might be difficult for you to get yourself out of that situation. You can also ask for, a shield or a block or protection from the creator. So there's a ton of meditations online. If you just go to just basically Google, protection meditation, Hay House Radio and the Hay House meditation app. I use that a lot. There are lots of different ones on there, and also Insight Timer. Those are some really great places where you can find some meditations that might help you and might encourage you to, protect yourself from energy if you're feeling like you can't get yourself out of these situations or spending time with these people. So hopefully that was a bit helpful. If if you have any comments, any thoughts, I'd love to hear that. Just leave a comment. And again, let me know if there's anything that you'd love to hear on the podcast. Thank you so much for all your support and all your encouragement, because this is why I'm doing it. I'm doing it for you. So if you do love the podcast, please can you leave us a review and let your friends know, and that would be really wonderful. And as always, just remember that you're doing the best you can, and that's perfect, okay? And every passing minute, we can turn our whole lives around. And sometimes all it takes is just one little nugget of wisdom or one little perspective or a shift in our mind that can transform our entire life. All right, so that's what I wanted to say. Lots of love and light to you, and I'll talk to you on Thursday, and I'll be here, of course, next week as well. Talk to you soon. Bye.